One economy is an idea. Its time has come. Ben Heck said, we've got big office space. So I was looking forward to big office space. We arrived in the lobby, and I was looking around. I said, this is a pretty good lobby.
I said, it's pretty nice, isn't it? He goes, yeah, this is pretty nice. We walk up to the elevator. I push the down button.
He pressed the down button on the bottom floor.
He looks over at me, and he says, what?
And so we went down in that elevator, and as we were walking through the storage room, I asked, where's my office? I was expecting to have a nice office. And he said, you are in it.
And he says, what?
There were boxes and computers from the 19th century stacked up against the walls, and holes in the wall, and dust, and just a bunch of nastiness piled all around.
I remember at one point it was so cold that, and I get cold anyway, and everybody always makes fun of me because I get cold anyway, I just got up, went out of the office, went down to the Filene's basement over on Connecticut Avenue, got a pair of gloves, cut off the fingers, and worked for the next 3 months down there with these gloves on with no fingers so I could sit there and clank away and writing proposals. And very few people knew we were in the basement. And so what would happen is people would come to visit us.
The receptionist knew what to say when people came and asked for us and directed them to the nice big fancy conference room on the 6th floor, and we would sort of try and magically appear there in the conference room as if we were coming from down the hall instead of down in the basement.
We didn't have any staff meetings because we just didn't have any staff. And so inevitably, after a hard week of work, we would get up to about Fridays at about 2 o'clock, and one way or the other, somebody would set off somebody else. And inevitably, we would have our fights on Friday afternoons.
Obviously, we were concerned about money and how long we were going to be able to last until we got some initial grant. Well, Alec, who is quite a resourceful gentleman, always used to joke with me, and we were walking one day to mail off something to a potential funder, and he just said, David, you come up with the crime and I'll commit it.
What they should know about it more than anything else is that this is a place full of deeply, deeply committed, incredibly talented people who have beat themselves to death for the past 5 years trying to fight poverty in a different way. When we got started, our central premise was a hard argument to make. We didn't get started in Silicon Valley. In Washington, D.C. and in foundations in New York City 5 years ago, the central premise of using technology to help people improve their lives was a stretch.
A lot of people looked at us and said, the poor are going to steal the computers, they aren't going to use it, they're going to sit at home, and we said that's not the way people think about technology or computers. They're fighting every day to put things together for their children.
Well, actually, since then, since I've got the computer, I've re-enrolled in school. So it's been a benefit to me around my schoolwork as well as science projects for my son. He can go online and obtain some of the problems, the homework that he's able to do. So it was a wonderful benefit to our family.
I do care about my children, and I know it's going to help them a lot. Because I see my daughter, it's amazing the way that she knows already, even though she's 11 years old. She surprised me every time that she said, Mommy, you can do this and this and that. And I go like, are you sure I can do it? And she said, yeah, if you don't know how to do it, I teach you. I say, okay. So I think it's not for me. It is for me, right, but it is more for my children.
Ray Ramsey came to my office February 2002 with an idea, a vision. An inspiration to use technology to help people of low income get access to good information. We took a risk, invested over $2 million, and now 3-4 years later we see the fruits just beginning to show. This is one of the best investments we've made.
I see One Economy as key to a social movement. And the movement, as I see it, would be in helping underserved communities emerge, be stronger, more prepared, and better able to get ahead, to better provide for their families, to know that there are lots of resources out there available to them and that they can access those resources.
I think One Economy is one of the most innovative nonprofits in the United States today. They started 5 years ago with a vision, and they're actually executing on that vision, not just in direct services to people and communities, but also in that important arena of policy making. And they're influencing policy in this country so that more people have opportunities in this 21st century. It's been fun working with One Economy. We've been able to do some extremely innovative services and look forward to continuing the relationship for many years to come.
I've been involved with lots of nonprofit organizations throughout my professional career, and never have I seen one that has experienced such growth, and never have I been part of one that has experienced the kind of support and partnership from its corporate and foundation partners as this one has. Their reaction to its work and to its promise has been nothing short of extraordinary. And so I remain a part of this because of its great promise and what it has already delivered and what it can deliver in the way of deep value to people in need all across this nation.
To have this happen in only 5 years just is absolutely amazing. And it's not only accessing the website, it's being able to use these tools so that they get into the economic mainstream and have a more effective life for themselves and for their children.
I want to say that this is a historic day in the North Lawndale community, but also 6 neighborhoods around the city of Chicago. We are empowering young people as digital connectors to make a difference.
It's amazing when you see things come together. You dream it, you believe it, but there's nothing like seeing it come to fruition. We've changed policies at the state level. We've had 8 million visitors come to the Beehive website. We're getting 300,000 people or more every single month. In 10 years, millions of people a month will be using the kinds of services that we're describing. That's where we want to get to. That's the dream. That's the goal. We're going to keep climbing that ladder till we get there.